When you think about light, the natural material to consider is glass. Light is instrumental in defining the feeling of a space. I wanted to create this whole form using thousands of solid glass balls. Kandinsky said, everything starts from a dot. And these glass balls are void of styled expression or surface fluff. It's about honesty, where the material and overall form are in harmony. I realized early on that it would be a great opportunity to engage with digital artists Onformative.
Initially, we also started with this idea of simulating the behavior of complex fluids and how they clash and collide and create these abstract shapes.
But on further discussions with the client, we decided to focus on a much simpler concept, and that was to make a form inspired by the movement of silk.
So we created these simulations where we had silk floating in completely different arrangements. We threw it 1,000 times in our simulation, looking for the perfect shape that perfectly matches the beautiful space.
All beauty must be of nature, and using this cutting-edge technology, you can create organic forms that expose that natural beauty. I like the coming together of nature and technology. I think it's very interesting and exciting, particularly when it comes to designing sculptural forms. The use of amber was very important and meaningful to the client. We distributed various shades of amber and frosted white in a way where the silk-like form is curved and stretched. The color is squeezed out, creating another layer of visual intrigue and beauty. Rather than having the glass made in those specific colors, I decided to paint them instead. That gave us full control over the subtle shades of amber we wanted to use. We used a special glass paint from Paris, and we painted the 21,000 glass balls by hand in the studio. Over a period of 2 months, each and every ball was submerged in paint, and the accumulative drops that ran to the bottom were carefully dabbed away with tissue paper to ensure an even and consistent color finish. At the same time, we had another team in a separate studio fixing the glass balls onto the thin steel wires by hand. They could pull the dimensions of all the exact positions of the balls using spreadsheets that were generated from the digital model. We developed a lovely number and color system where each team member was allocated their own dedicated color to eliminate the risk of repeats. These colors were used in diagrammatic form in repeating rainbow patterns, so when we carefully packed the strands of glass balls into cardboard tubes, we could write the colored number on the top ready for shipping. We could then reverse this color sequence during installation. The whole ceiling was made in the UK. We designed a frame and tile system, and all the bright steel frames were painstakingly handmade by Andy Webb, who's a very accomplished metal worker and someone I have absolute trust in. Everything Andy makes is carried out with love, and I knew that when we dropped in the laser cut aluminium tiles, the whole ceiling would be flat and true and seamless.
(19 to 23) a B length.
As well as my installation team, We had the opportunity to work alongside an amazing team of Vietnamese builders who were very skilled and industrious and just such a pleasure to work with. They built us an electrically powered winch so we could raise the boxes of glass easily, and they were instrumental in helping us install the thousands of strands of glass balls and just made the whole process such an amazing, energizing experience. The spotlights we used were by John Cullen, who are UK-based and make the finest architectural lights in the world. And we also had hundreds of fiber optic light sources in amongst the glass, which were made by UFO, who manufacture in the UK. We wired the spotlights and the fiber optic system into the Lutron system, which gave us full control over any lighting effects we wanted to program into the system. We programmed numerous lighting effects into the installation, including just on in static format, or waves and pulses of light washing through the glass, to dining mode and full party mode, including a mixture of dancing light patterns and twinkling fiber optic lights that look like fireflies. This whole project has been such a privilege. We named the installation Lua, which is Vietnamese for silk. What makes the installation so special is the marriage between the love and craftsmanship that went into the fabrication and the use of new digital technology to design a form inspired by nature and speaks of elegance, luxury and beauty. I think beauty and love are made of the same stuff. They're infinite. True beauty is the most valuable commodity in the world.